What's good, my people? It's your boy Daniel FX here. Today we're doing another YouTube Q&A where I'm going to be answering some of the questions you guys asked me on my Instagram. This is from like a week ago. It's just taken me a little while to get around actually filming this video, so some of these questions might be like a week old, but it's questions you guys have asked, so let's get right into the video. Question number one is, what is a good amount of profit? What's a good percentage amount of profit to aim for per month? Now, this is actually a very common misconception, and it's having a profit target in mind. You shouldn't have a percentage target that you aim for to consider it a good trading month. Any month that you follow your trading plan and you stick to your rules is a good trading month. It doesn't matter whether or not you're up, you're down, you're break even. As long as you follow your plan and you're trading your strategy, that is a good trading month. So you need to remove this idea that you need to be aiming for a target. Furthermore, I'd actually say it's counterproductive for you to aim for a profit target, because then it kind of sets this like idea in your mind that you should be trading X amount of time and you should be aiming for X amount of profit or X amount of percentage. And just generally speaking, you should be setting those sort of parameters for your trading. So I would generally say just trade what the market gives you. Trade the really high quality setups that you feel really good about, and just allow whatever numbers to play out. Generally speaking, for me, anytime I go 1, 2, 3% in profit, I'll actually just stop and wait for my payout. Now, this is entirely dependent on your account size, because obviously if you're trading like a 10K account, for example, and you make 1%, you might not necessarily be happy with $100 profit. However, I'd highly recommend get into a habit of consistently pulling money out of the market, because I can promise you these little 1, 2%, even a 0.5% profit, they will add up over time. And as long as you're consistently withdrawing from the market, you are making money. In comparison to someone who's aiming for 8 or 10% profit, they might go up 7% into profit, and then they continue to trade to try and hit their monthly target, and they go back into drawdown, and then they lose the money or they lose the account, and a lot of stuff happens. When if you just consistently withdraw at 1 or 2%, you'd make a lot more money. So I'll just get in a habit of going into profit, take a nice setup, the trade hits, wait for your payout, and continue trading once you've been paid out. Simple as that. On to the next question. How long should I be profitable on demo before I go for a funded account? I wouldn't necessarily recommend staying on a demo for too long. The demo account is never going to teach you real psychology, and you can't really gauge your profitability based off of demo trading. I would say, if anything, you're better off just doing a large sample size of back testing and data collection, and also forward testing in a live market. And once you have a set amount of data, I would say at least 2 years worth of price action, where your strategy is playing out over a long term and your numbers are making sense, then you can start on a very small funded account. I'll personally recommend Equity Edge just because it's the cheapest account out there. You can actually start trading for like £8. So it's very low risk, and you can try out your live market psychology. And then based off of that, you can start scaling up and going for larger funded accounts. But I definitely wouldn't stay on demo for more than like 3 months if you're actually putting in the work, because it's just not going to benefit you. It's going to give you false confidence, and ultimately psychology is the major aspect of trading, and demo trading does not teach psychology, so it's not really useful in that sense. How much profit did you make in your first year of trading? My first year of trading, I made absolutely no profit. If anything, I was net negative. I was probably down around like 5 or 6K, which doesn't sound like a crazy amount, but at the time I did not have that money. I was like grinding at my kitchen job. I was selling stuff online on Depop. I was doing odd little jobs here and there, and I was actively losing money. So I didn't actually make money until my third year of trading. The first 3 years I was net negative, so no money. Make a course, bro. I am currently in the process of making a little program. I'm also doing this free masterclass. It's going to be rescheduled up until probably some point next week on Saturday or Sunday. It was meant to be last Friday, but the Vimeo thing just wasn't working. It kept crashing. For those of you who are on the masterclass, let me know in the comments how it was looking, but it was just a little bit laggy, and I'm currently working through some technical difficulties, but I am in the process of making a completely free program, and there's going to be some more stuff offered, so be on the lookout for that. Just stay active on my Instagram, and you will see an announcement very, very shortly. How long did it take you to pass your first funded account? My first funded account was probably like my 2.5 year of trading, roughly. I remember it was a 100K FTMO account. I never got paid in that account. I actually ended up blowing it on my first live trade. It was US30. I just started trading US30 at the time, and I didn't really understand the lot sizing principle, and I accidentally entered 10 lots on US30, and price wicked super hard as I entered it, and I immediately liquidated myself 5% daily equity, and it was a massive L, but I learned a very valuable lesson, to always check your lot sizing and enter smaller lots than you think you need, especially if you're uncertain about the lot sizing. But that was the first funded account I had. I then scaled down. I went to 20Ks and 50K accounts, and I got funded a couple more times. Still didn't make any payouts. I kept blowing my account within the first month of trading for various psychology reasons. It was around my third year of trading where I actually got funded and made a payout, and I believe it was a 100K My Forex Fund account, which was my first actual payout. And then I started kind of scaling from there, and things started kind of clicking and going my way. Did you have a mentor, or is it possible to make it on my own in trading? So essentially for my first 2.5/3 years of trading, I was trading by myself. I was learning for myself. I was on Baby Pips, I was on YouTube. I was taking various free programs online, but I was never really willing to commit any money because in my head I was like, nah, I can just learn it by myself. And I had this mentality of like, yo, everyone's trying to finesse me. I'm not giving anyone money. I'm just gonna learn it for myself. And that's exactly what kind of kept me trapped in this cycle of unprofitability, because I wasn't willing to take knowledge from someone else. Now, I'm not saying that you have to learn from someone. I'm not saying you have to buy a program or a course. But for me, when I started actually investing money into it and like money into my education, it definitely got better. I spent a lot of money heavily focused on the psychology and the mindset aspect, because that's what I primarily struggled with. I did learn a bunch of various strategies, and a lot of them were kind of useless, to be honest. But I had this one mentor, Luca. Shout out to Luca. He was a bit of a forex guru, to be honest, and I didn't think he actually traded it at the time. But he had a lot of very useful mindset stuff, a lot of psychology stuff that really benefited me. So that was around like my third and a half year of trading. And that really got me to like my next level and kind of elevated my mind in terms of what was possible, both in and outside of trading. So I would say it was a net positive. I actually ended up paying almost 4.5K for his program, which is kind of funny because again, at the time, I don't know where I had that money from. I kind of just pulled it out of my arse. It was a bit mad. But long term, it definitely played out, and I think I did get an ROI on that course. So I would recommend invest in your education, because ultimately, if you're unprofitable right now, there's a reason you're unprofitable. There's something that you're lacking, whether or not it's technicals or psychology or a mindset shift. There is knowledge out there that you do not have. Someone else has that. Someone who's already profitable has been through what you're going through. So it just makes sense to invest a little bit of money to get that knowledge from someone else and have someone help you out along your journey. Now, that's not to say that you can't do it on your own, but it's definitely going to extend your timeline. The whole point of having a mentor or taking a course or taking a program is to learn from other people's mistakes, so you don't have to actively go through the trial and error. So it definitely just speeds up your timeline overall. What was your aha moment in trading, and how are you finding a new car? So my aha moment in trading was around my 2.5 year. Everything kind of happened within the 2.5 to 3.5 year span. That was like my big year of trading for me personally. But what I realized is everything is overcomplicated for no reason. All the trading strategies, Fibonacci, smart money concepts, any ICT stuff, any indicators, any super complex strategy was all just a different variation off of a break and retest. And one moment I was sitting there, and to be honest, I was a little bit baked. I'll be real in it. And I was sitting there, I was looking at the price, and I was like, mate, what is actually going on here? Why is everyone complicating this? Like, what are we actually looking at? And I just had this realization moment that every single strategy out there is just a different variation off of a break and retest. Because when you fundamentally look at trading, what are you attempting to do? You're finding a daily time frame buyer, so you're finding a trending market. You're finding a key level on an intraday time frame. You're waiting for price to tap into that key level, and you're attempting to trade in the direction of the higher time frame so you can play out in your direction. In other words, higher time frame market structure sentiment, key level on the intraday time frame, wait for behavior, wait for a 5-minute, break and retest. Very simple. And once I had that realization, I started backtesting this like new strategy and just really simplifying everything. And it all kind of just clicked for me. My numbers started playing out, and it just started going in my direction. And I started being able to focus all my time, attention, and energy on my psychology, which was the difficult part, because my technicals were so stupidly simple that like I didn't have to really worry about whether or not my technicals were correct, because it was just a break and retest. There wasn't really too much that went into it, and it allowed me to really focus on my psychology, which really elevated my trading on the long term. How am I finding my new car? The new car's lit. I've got some mods and stuff coming today. I actually just took it to the mechanic yesterday, installing some ambient lighting. I'm getting stars put in a roof. I'm getting some cool stuff. So I'm gonna make a video on that once it is finished. I think it's gonna be finished by Sunday. But yeah, it's lit. The car's nice. Only thing I would say is, coming from a 700cc motorbike, which is literally a rocket, the car, there is no comparison in terms of fun. The car's very practical, and it has given me a lot more like comfort in terms of I don't have to like wear multiple coats and jackets and gloves and this, that, the other. I can just hop in my car in a t-shirt, slap on my heated seats, and I'm chilling. But it's definitely not the same level of like adrenaline as hopping on the bike. Because when you're on the bike, anytime you drive it or ride it rather, it's just, you're giggling. Like, it's just so fun. And what a lot of people don't know is that bike was so stupidly like rapid. Like the Lamborghini and the Ferrari and the McLaren and everything that I drove in Dubai was still slower than the acceleration on the Yamaha MT-07 that I had, which is crazy to think about. And as well, on a bike, you feel the acceleration a lot more than in a car, because you're on top of it rather than sitting inside it. and it's just like there's no comparison. I can't even explain it if you're not a biker. If you haven't ridden a motorbike, you won't understand. But I definitely am getting another motorbike real soon. It's on my to-do list of things I want to grab. When are you announcing the boxing cards? The Traders Boxing event is still happening. I know it's been like a little bit delayed. I've been going back and forth. I literally had over 1,000 submissions of people looking to fight, and I managed to narrow down the list from 1,000 people to 90 people. I've currently got someone working on those 90 people, and they're just doing some matchmaking, and I'll probably have an answer by, what's the day today? It's Friday. I'll definitely have an answer by Sunday, hopefully. It's just taken a while, to be honest. It's actually very difficult to organize a boxing event, believe it or not. There's a lot of things that go into it. But as soon as I have the fighters like matched and I actually reach out to them and they respond, then I can confirm the venue, confirm the tickets, confirm everything else, and then actually set a date in stone. But more than likely, we're looking to do it towards the end of June. It's going to be a sick event, so yeah, be on the lookout for that. Stay on my IG. Does Equity Edge have a stop loss rule? Of course it has a stop loss rule. Every prop firm has a stop loss rule. You can't trade an account without a stop loss. That would just be stupid. It's a standard model. You have 5% daily drawdown and 10% overall drawdown on a two-step evaluation. On a one-step evaluation, it's based off of something different. I believe it's 4% max daily drawdown, and I think it might be 8% overall. And you have an equity-based trading stop loss. So like look into that. I'd recommend take the two-step. You're much better off just taking a two-step evaluation. But if you want the one-step, look into the FAQ section and understand the rules that you're taking before you go ahead and actually start trading your evaluation. What happens after you get a funded account and you get paid out? Does it go back to the original funded account size? Yes, that's exactly what happens. You have a 200k account, you make 10k profit, you withdraw your 10k, your account gets reset back to break even, which would be 200k flat, and you start trading again per normal. Some prop firms will lock off your account during the payout period to stop you from trading. Other prop firms will just let you continuously trade throughout that duration. So you have to be very careful to not trade and lose the profits, otherwise your payout will get denied because you won't have that same amount of profit in there, if you know what I'm saying. So I'd recommend just stop trading, wait until the payout hits your bank, and then continue trading as if it's in your account. Do you use any algo? I use ChatGPT-4 to take trades. I just ask it, I'm like, mate, what do I trade today? US30 buys or shorts? And yeah, I just wait for ChatGPT to tell me. Just in case you're an idiot, that's a joke. I don't use any algo. Price action based, break and retest, very easy, very simple. How to avoid taxes / pay minimal taxes in the UK. Well, obviously I'm not a tax advisor, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not qualified to give out any tax advice. But I would speak to a good accountant. It's actually not that difficult to find a decent accountant. You can just Google online, good accountants near me, and find someone, and they will give you some proper tax advice. But you're always better off having an LLC, a private limited company, and then running everything through your LLC and writing off business expenses to lower your tax amount each year. And even if you don't do any of that, even just having the LLC and paying corporation tax is much lower than the regular income tax. You can save yourself around 25% dependent on how much you're making from your trading. So that's definitely the way forward. What did you do with your first ever funded account payout? My first funded account payout, I believe I bought another funded account with that same payout. So I just reinvested it back in. I think I took my family out for dinner and I brought myself a pair of Air Force Ones. It wasn't a massive payout. I think my first payout was like 800 quid, give or take. But at the time, I'd been working so hard for it, and it just felt like I was a millionaire. So like, I enjoyed it a little bit, and it was a good feeling. That first account payout, when you first get it, different. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's different. What are the top 5 best prop firms in 2024? Now, the top 5 best prop firms, in my opinion, right now are Alpha Capital Group would be number 1, followed by FTMO would be number 2. The Funded Trader used to be up there, but recently with everything that's happened, it's kind of been like, it's been allow the Funded Trader. I'm not even gonna get into that. Fuck the Funded Trader. So Alpha Capital Group, FTMO. Right now, I really fuck with Equity Edge. They're really good. I know a lot of you guys in the comments are gonna be like, oh, you trade for them and you're affiliated with them. Obviously, I do work with Equity Edge, but I only work with good prop firms. The same way I was working with Alpha Capital Group when they first launched, and now they're literally the best prop firm out there. There's a reason that I align myself with these good prop firms, because I see the opportunity early on, and I know the team and I know what they're doing on the back end, and I know they're a very solid company. So Equity, Alpha, FTMO. Beyond that, there's a couple of other ones that I could say, like the Funded Engineer and Funding Pips, and all of them are a little bit shady at this point. Funded X is really good, especially for you Australian traders. Funded X is a really good one. And then you have a couple of the futures firms like Top Tier Funding and Apex. They're pretty decent as well. But for me, I can only really say the prop firms that I trade with, and that would be Equity Edge, FTMO, Alpha Capital Group. I still trade the TFT technically, but I don't really like TFT anymore, so do with that information what you will. Why the C200? Buy a C63 2013. Mate, if I could get insured on a C63, I'd have a C63, but my insurance is already ridiculous as it is. I'm paying like almost 11k in insurance, so it's stupid. And I literally just will not get an insurance quote on any higher power vehicle. So I don't even have a C200 furthermore. That's an incorrect model. So I'm not gonna let you guys know what car I have in it, but if you can guess in the comments, I'll leave that up to you little car wizards. But I am gonna be doing a full video on my car very soon on Sunday when I get the mods and everything comes in. I'm gonna do like a little day in a life vlog or whatever when I go to pick it up. And yeah, I'll show you guys the car and stuff then. But yeah, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Little Q&A. I'm going to be doing some more of these in the future. Let me know in the comments if you like these style of videos, or furthermore, ask me some questions in the comments, and on the next Q&A, I'll answer some of them from this video. And I'll see you guys next time.